Okay, so today I'm doing another album tier list. Since it was just Halloween, I thought Haunted Mound would be pretty fitting. If you don't know who Haunted Mounders, they're a horror-themed rap group. They have a lot of different musical influences, like cloud rap artists like Young Lean, and Black Prey, and drill music like Chief Keef, black metal music like Burzum and Mayhem, and Memphis rap artists like 36 Mafia, because they were the original artists who did horror themed rap. Oh, and witch house music like Salem. It was started by Sematary in 2019, and originally it was just him and Ghost Mountain. Eventually, they started bringing on more artists, but by the time they really got any artists, Ghost Mountain left the group on bad terms and went to go do film studies in college. But Cemetery kept getting new artists, Hackle, Buckshot, and Turnabout, and it was also at this time that he stopped producing most of the music himself. He got new producers, Oscar, Grimoire, and Gonerville. And earlier this year, Turnabout and Gonerville left Haunted Mound and on bad terms as well, and went and started their own thing. But also, a little bit this year, Ghost Mountain came back and came back to the group and released 2 singles, and he's going to be releasing an album. So that's kind of a brief history and summary of Haunted Mound. But here is the tier list. I think, if I remember correctly, this is in chronological order. It's hard for me to remember because Grave House and 100 Acre Wrist are not on Spotify, even though that Ghost Mountain's back, they're still not on. But I think this is the right order. Oh, and also Warboy's not on Spotify. But starting off with the first album ever made, Grave House, which is a Ghost Mountain and Cemetery collab album released in 2019. This is immediately an S tier. This is probably my favorite Haunted Mound album. Has a really good vibe. Ghost Mountain is probably my favorite member, and he's really good in this, but Cemetery is also really good in this. Yeah, I mean, I just have to put that in S tier. That's my favorite album. The next one is Rainbow Bridge 1. This is the start of the Rainbow Bridge trilogy. It's just a Cemetery album, no Ghost Mountain, and it's kind of like black metal inspired rap. It uses a lot of black metal samples. It's kind of like cloud rap mixed with black metal. But the first Rainbow Bridge album is very good. It's one of the first Haunted Mound albums I really got into, and it's still one of my favorites. It's also the best in the Rainbow Bridge trilogy, in my opinion. Every song on it is a good, so I'm gonna put that up in S tier with Grave House. So Rainbow Bridge 2, it has a really similar vibe to Rainbow Bridge 1, but it's not quite as good. Some of the songs on here, like We Don't Dial 911, Skinwalker with Slug Christ, and the Forever intro are some of my favorite Cemetery / Haunted Mound songs, like, easily, but some of the other songs on here are more forgettable. But I don't know, it's hard to say whether I want to put this in S or A, but for now I'm gonna put it in A, and I might move it up to S later, but it's still very good. More of the same kind of sound from Rainbow Bridge 1 that I like a lot, but not quite as good. So this right here is the Warboy EP. It's not a full album, it's an EP, and it's also not on Spotify anymore. So in my Drain Gang Sad Boys tier list, I was pretty harsh on EPs because I don't really think it's fair to compare a short EP to a full album that has a lot more content. Like, it's immediately going to be worse. And a lot of people didn't agree with that, and I feel like they were kind of fair at some points. Like, Rip Blade is really good, and I should have ranked it higher. Now that I've listened to it more, if I went back and did that video again, I would have ranked it higher. But Warboys is good, but again, like, it's pretty mixed. Like, the first 3 songs are really good, but then the other 3 are just kind of forgettable, not as good, and it's a lot shorter than all the other albums. So unfortunately for now, I'm gonna have to put it in C. There's some good songs in there. I'd still recommend that album to people, but it just doesn't have enough content to offer. So this next one is the second and currently only Cemetery Ghost Mountain, only other Cemetery and Ghost Mountain collab album, 100 Acre Wrist. This is probably my second favorite Haunted Mound album, and objectively I feel like it should be the first, but I just prefer Gravehouse a little bit. But, like, objectively this is better, and this is probably the best thing that they've ever made. It goes for a more Witch House, Salem inspired sound, but still very rap inspired as well. It's very good. Yeah, every song on there is really good. So the next one, this is probably going to be controversial because I know Rainbow Bridge 3 is very loved by fans. I just never really liked Rainbow Bridge 3 that much. I've gotten more into it. It used to be like my absolute least favorite. I like album. Like, before I would have put it in E. I like it a bit more now, but it tries to do something different than the first 2 Rainbow Bridge albums, which I can respect because Rainbow Bridge 2 was really similar to Rainbow Bridge 1, and I understand why Cemetery got sick of that. But basically, I don't like the way they changed it up. His idea for this was to go a lot more into the black metal sound, and he said that since black metal is mixed terribly, that he thought it would be interesting to mix his album like that. So the mix is so crunchy on this, you can't hear any of the lyrics. It's really loud. I get why people enjoy that, but to me it's just kind of obnoxious, especially because I like Cemetery as a rapper, and you can't hear the lyrics or the bars at all. Like, I get it for metal music, not being able to hear the lyrics, but I want to hear, like, the bars and stuff. So I don't know. I get why people like this, but I'm gonna have to put this. It feels wrong to put below Warboy, but I'm gonna have to put it in C for now. The ones in C might go lower, but probably not because there's stuff on here that's worse. So the next one is Screaming Forest. This is another album I don't really like that much. Part of the reason is it's kind of just really corny. I like it on Halloween, but like otherwise it feels a little bit too over the top. Like I don't take Cemetery or Haunted Mound that seriously, but my way of describing this is most of the Haunted Mound albums feel like a slasher movie, but this feels like a spirit Halloween. Like literally at one point one of the bars says that he's like eating Count Chocula or something. Like it's really over the top. I do like listening to it on Halloween. Yesterday was Halloween and I forgot to listen to it. But also I don't know. A lot of the songs on this are forgettable. The sound that it goes for is kind of generic. I never really liked this album. I don't really visit it regularly. Just I don't know, I'll put it above Warboy just because like I said, it's a full-length album and it has more to offer. But yeah, so quick tangent about these two. Originally, I heard about Cemetery because I was into underground music, and the most recent things at the time were Rainbow Bridge 3 and Screaming Forest. So I just listened to the more recent stuff and I was like, oh, I really don't like Cemetery at all. This music isn't very good. But then, like, a while later, my ex-boyfriend showed me more of his stuff, and he showed me stuff from Rainbow Bridge 1 and from Grave House, and that's when I really started to get into him. So, yeah, I just never liked these. I know the Rainbow Bridge 3 one especially is super controversial. I respect it more than I used to, but... Next, this is where we start to get into the other Haunted Mound members' projects, and this is the first, unless you count Ghost Mountain being on some of the other albums. This is the first non-Cemetery project, and it's still to this day the best non-Cemetery project. It's Burning Barn by Buckshot. Buckshot, other than Ghost Mountain, is definitely my favorite non-Cemetery member, and just every song on this album is a banger. It's great. Buckshot has really good bars, really good lyricism. It has a really fun vibe. Yeah, that's an easy S tier for me. So this next one is Turnabout's first album, Cutter Lane, and this is a good album. It's just Turnabout was like 17 years old when he joined Haunted Mound. He was still a little teenager, and considering that, this album is great for being like a first project that a 17-year-old put out, but it kind of doesn't... You could tell Turnabout is still, in this album, still coming into his own as an artist, figuring out his own style, and so it feels kind of generic. It feels like he copies Cemetery's style a lot, but it's still a really good album. Every song on this is good, so I'm just gonna throw it in B. But that's a good album. For someone's first project, when they're 17, it's a really good album. It's just Turnabout has a lot better stuff in the future. So, this next one is Hackle's first project. So I do like this album. It's just, Hackle is probably my least favorite Haunted Mound member when it comes to like music on his own. I like Hackle on features and songs, and he seems like a really cool guy, but he just, I don't know. I don't really like his solo music that much. it kind of, most of the time, Hackle's solo music does it. It kind of gets rid of the horror theme, and it just feels a lot more like a Chief Keef kind of drill clone. But he's still good. He's still good at rapping. This still fun. This is his better of the two albums. I'm gonna throw it in B. It is a good album. I prefer a lot of the other stuff with more horror themes. Lord of Ethram, Turnabout's second album. This is much better than Cutter Lane. This is really when Turnabout came into his own as an artist. Very good. Every song on this is good. I don't know if it's quite S tier though. I think what I'm gonna do is, I feel like even though it's mixed, Rainbow Bridge 2 should actually be up in S. So I think I'll do this is the ranking, and then I'll put Lord of Ethram up in A, because Lord of Ethram's really good, but I never think of it as like the top tier albums when I'm thinking about my favorite Haunted Mound albums. But yeah, it's really good. Okay, next is a pretty recent one. This came out in 2023. Butcher House. This album is really good. I really haven't revisited it that much since it's come out, but it's really good. I do need to revisit it more. It kind of goes more into the drill stylings, but it still keeps a lot of the horror themes. There's a really good feature from Black Cray, which is, I mentioned, is one of Sematary's biggest influences, and he's one of my favorite artists. So this is a really good album. I think it's a little bit better than Lord of Ethram. I'll throw it up into A. This next one is another EP. And a lot of people don't like this one. This is King of the Graveyard. A lot of people don't like this one, including me. It has some good songs. Like 3 AM Gang is a good song. But that's mostly because of Turnabout's part. And it doesn't have that many songs. It just really feels like this was a product of Sematary rushing out music at the time, because he just released Butcher House. He was on that Grade A tour of Suicide Boys that didn't really go well because a lot of the Suicide Boys fans were making fun of him. And he released this like while he was on the tour, and it felt really rushed and sloppy. And it was, there was going to be like a part 2 to this, and I think some of the part 2 got reworked into Bloody Angels. But as a project on its own, most people don't really like this, and I don't really like it. It felt like it came out during a little bit of a bad era, because that album was bad, and then Turnabout and Gonerville left. And this next album was also kind of bad. This is Hackle's second album. And like, it's basically like Gunsmith, his first album, but like even less themed and like not as good. Like, I listened to it once and I enjoyed it for what it was, but it's really generic. And like I said, there's no horror theme at all. There's not even really a theme. Like, at least Gunsmith had the whole gun thing going on, but there's no theme at all to this album. So I don't know. I would say, like, quality wise, these are like even in my mind, but I don't even think that's actually true, because I never revisited this album. I think I'll have to do... No, I have to do that. I don't know. Like, as an album isolated, it's really not bad. But, like, compared to everything else, including his other album, it's much worse. I don't know. I really don't like Hackle's solo music, honestly. The next one is the most recent Cemetery album, Bloody Angels, and this thing is super good. I mean, most people seem to like it, but I don't feel like it gets enough appreciation. I'm honestly gonna throw it up into S. Maybe it should be the top of A. I'll put it at the top of A, just because it doesn't complete with this classic era stuff, but it's really good. It's basically like the same kind of style on Butcher House, but a lot better features. It has a little Flash from Glow Gang. It has Wicca Phase, who a lot of people compare Ghost Mountain to Wicca Phase, and I like Wicca Phase and Goth Boy Click a lot, so that was a really cool feature. He's really good on that song. So yeah, I think I'm cool with that. So these next two kind of don't count, but if it's a Haunted Mound tier list, because this was the project, the 2 EP project that Turnabout and Gonerville did after they left Haunted Mound. But I do like these EPs a lot. I like Turnabout and Gonerville's new music a lot, and I want to compare it to the rest of Haunted Mound's discography just to see where it would land. And the first one is the better one. Better than the second one. And both of these EPs, they really, really heavily lean into the Witch House Salem vibe that Cemetery has taken after Salem and Witch House in his music before, but this goes very heavily hard into it. It basically sounds like Salem, but with more rapping. And Leptis Main is probably one of the best songs to ever come out of a Haunted Mound artist, even though it's a former Haunted Mound artist at this point. I don't know. I really like this EP. I'm going to put it at the bottom of A. A lot of the songs other than Leptis Main I don't really remember that well, but they were good. And the second... I'm not saying the name of these EPs, by the way, because they're like Latin words are hard to say, but they're on Turnabout and Spotify if you want to look them up. But the second part of the EP is not as good, but I also haven't really listened to it that much. Yeah, I also haven't really listened to it that much, but it's definitely better than Cutter Lane and Gunsmith, that's for sure. I feel like I'm definitely gonna get hate for putting Rainbow Bridge 3 and Screaming Forest Warboy under these two, but that's just my personal taste. I feel like objectively these three are better. In fact, I'll do that. And then I'll also do this because I feel like Buckshot, even though this is my favorite non-Cemetery album, shouldn't go higher than the 4 classics, in my opinion. I know this is a classic too, but I just don't really prefer it. Anyway, I'm rambling, so this is my list. Gravehouse, 100 Acre Wrist, Rainbow Bridge 1, 2, and Burning Barn, S tier. Bloody Angels, Butcher House, Lord of Ethereum, both of the Turnabout and Gonerville EPs in A. Cutter Lane, Gunsmith, and Warboy in B. Rainbow Bridge 3 and Screaming Forest in C. I don't even remember what the fuck Hackle's second album is called, and King of the Graveyard in D. Nothing in E, because I don't think anything from Haunted Mound is that bad. But I will say there's a lot of there's like 3 projects that are being worked on and will probably come out fairly soon. In Haunted Mound right now, it is there's Wickerman, which is a Buckshot and Hackle EP, which I'm really excited for because there hasn't been new Buckshot music since 2022. Like, at least like a official album. There's been like unfinished stuff that's leaked, but I'm really excited for that, and I'm even more excited for Ghost Mountain is finally going to be releasing a solo album now that he's back in Haunted Mound, and there's already been 2 singles for it that are really good, and it recently Sematary has been working on another kind of gangster rap drill inspired album called Mound Rich. So that's 3 albums that are coming out relatively soon. So I think what I'll do is when those projects drop, I'm going to place them on this tier list as like a YouTube short or something. I won't make a full video for that, but I will update the tier list when those come out because I'm excited for all of those projects. But yeah, thanks for watching. See you guys next time.